Hi, and welcome back to Chat and That podcast. Take it away.
Mirror, mirror, the face, it stares at me. Mirror, mirror, that's someone else. It's not the person speaking to you. He belongs in a book. Wilmers of Montmartre, there's nothing there. And I could never be myself. There is no me, I do not exist. There used to be, he never relaxed. I'm biting my nails until they bleed. Everyone's worried about me. I need a character to play, to put a smile on somebody's face. Mirror, mirror, can everyone now laugh? Mirror, mirror, are they smiles and not frowns? It's another day at the office. Only funny while cutting the grass. Will the real person please stand up? The truth really set one free. I can be anything you want, but my reflection you'll never see. I'm biting my nails until they bleed. Everyone's worried about me. I need a character to play, to put a smile on somebody's face. A man of many faces walks back home. Shadows of fiction, there is only friends. Beautiful women, the blank canvas. Who expects the love? Who expects the love? Oh, mirror, won't you tell me and show me? Show me, show me, show me. Show me. I'm biting my nails until they bleed. Everyone's worried about me. I need a character to play, to put a smile on somebody's face.
Woo!
Thank you.
Bravo! Bravo! Well done. Congratulations. Oh, yeah, thanks for coming on, Alex.
Oh,
I'm on
thanks.
the show, but thank you much. Wow, my goodness, that was amazing.
Well, that's kind of telling considering it was only really power chords.
This is Alex, everyone. Thanks, Alex, for coming on the show.
Hello.
Hello. Wow. So did you write it?
Yes. So that song was called Mirror Mirror. It was a song I wrote at the end of 2022, and it was purely inspired by Peter Sellers.
Peter Sellers?
Know that guy?
Yeah, who is he?
So Peter
rings a
Sellers,
bell.
Pink Panther.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so he was in the Pink Panther films. He's been in a huge amount of other films like The Lady Killers from 1955 and Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb from 1964. And Peter was an interesting character in real life. He basically said he had no identity outside of the roles he played. So much. This was further exemplified when he once made an appearance on the Muppet Show in the 70s. Because
right.
he was dressed up. He dressed up in many costumes. He dressed up as a sailor, I believe as a milkman, and when he was dressed up as a Viking, Kermit the Frog goes up to him and goes, Peter, why don't you just take off the costume and just be yourself? And Peter responds with, but no, you see, my dear Kermit, there is no me under here. I do not exist. There used to be, but I had it surgically removed. Yeah.
Wow.
He was a great actor though. Like, my mum would definitely have a lot more to say about him than I would, because she really loved like the Goon Show and stuff.
So yeah, thank you very much for doing that. You're not the first person called Alex to perform with a guitar.
Yeah, I know another certain somebody who that would be.
Yes.
Alex, if you ever happen to come across this, hope you're doing well wherever you are now. Hi, by the way.
Love Alex. And we love you, Alex.
Oh, I'm not that good.
Yes, he was. That was very good.
Oh, thanks.
So, thank you for coming on. Now, the thing is, we met in the MMC. I asked everyone how we meet. I thought we met in the MMC. Why are you always in the MMC? You seem to be in the MMC quite a lot.
The answer for that is easy, because I these days I do a lot of producing for myself and others, and because we've only got 2 studios at like the Bowers building, and they get booked like a lot. Like, you know, you can't really go in there and use like the program we use is called Pro Tools. We can't really like use it in like studio time, because, you know, there's always going to be a chance someone's going to open the door and say, sorry mate, I've got this studio booked, so I'm going to have to kick you out. Thankfully, the MMC has all the tools needed for like us music students, as they like have Pro Tools on it, like all the features, everything, the works. So it's easy for me just to stroll in and just, you know, just like do producing and stuff. And yeah, like, considering that there was always a lot of the times whenever I go in there, there's always like a lot of people, it really just like gets me into a good enough mindset. And yeah, plus you and like the energy of everyone else really puts me in good spirits.
And also Lauren as well.
Yeah, Lauren, Elena, you know, Nyon, Isla, like a lot of them. And of course, even though they're both not with us anymore, Amelie and Kieran, if you also stumble upon this.
They're not dead though, but
yeah, I know.
But yeah, so very musical.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a bit about did you love music as a kid then? Did you grow up with a musical mind?
Yeah, that is a very, very interesting question, actually, because it would come from 2 sources. At my first school, which was mainly one for autistic kids, because like I'm on the spectrum and all, but like I had a really great music teacher called Mr. Hartley, and like he'd always like, you know, just like introduce like many fun ways to play music and stuff. He also like had various computer programs which me and my classmates loved using, you know, and I always would just love like just going back and doing it because it was just fun to use. So much so that I'd always like frequently ask the teacher if we were gonna do it again. He must have got fed up with me for that, but you know, he acknowledged it in good taste. So yeah, that's one cause. I'd say the other one, I'd say the other one would actually. There's a third reason I've just remembered, but we'll get to that in a moment. The second reason was when I got to my first school to and from my first school via a taxi, and like they'd always have Magic, the radio station.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like I would always be especially drawn to like a lot of the soul sort of songs because like my male tastes have changed a lot since then, but I still like have a like ear out for like soul music because like I really like songs like Son of a Preacher Man by Dusty Springfield, Rescue Me by Fontella Bass, Stand By Me by Benny King, and especially I heard a lot of Fleetwood Mac as well because like that stuff was just so on the rage, at least when I was always listening to Magic. Like I'd always like the two common songs are definitely here were Everywhere and Little Lies. Rest in peace, Christine McVie.
Do you know a band called Linda's Farm?
They ring a faint bell, yeah.
My mum's obsessed with them. Sorry, Mum. My mum's obsessed with Linda's Farm. Huge fan. Just so many musical questions, really. Like, so I assume you do music here.
Well, that's sort of subjective, as I am now in my first year of my master's year, and unfortunately, Winchester Uni don't offer a music master's. However, like the course I'm doing now, digital marketing and stuff, do like still offer opportunities for it because it still deals with like Spotify analytics and stuff, and like I still get to do like a lot of like music photography and stuff because I am in the process of getting myself like a camera so I can photograph gigs and all.
Wow, that's cool. So wait, so you're doing your first year, masters in digital, and you chose that because they didn't do a music one.
Yeah, like originally I was originally tapped to do like a digital media masters, and then they pulled it at the last minute.
Oh. So you're a fourth year technically.
Yeah, I know. I'm an old man with a bad back.
So you've been here.
This is my fourth year being here.
So what were your first 3 years courses? What was that? Was that music?
Popular music production and performance.
Right, so what's that entail then?
So it's sort of like, as the title may suggest, like half of it is production, like obviously fiddling about with Pro Tools, doing stuff in the studio. And the other half is like performing, because like we basically like have a even half of like production and performance assessments to do. So I can give some examples. In first year, for example, the first two sets of assignments we were given was like, one was do some like mastering in Pro Tools, just like get to grips with it, and the other was like do a show at Railway, because like the Railway Inn.
Oh yes.
Happiest place in Winchester, in my opinion.
Well, I think Spoons is actually.
Yeah, that's
Railway in a second.
That's a solid contender. But yeah. So basically, every year, the music lecturers always like do a free show for like the first years to like do a demonstration there, and like I did it like first in like a 3-piece band called Rhythm Section for Hire, and we performed songs such as Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. Like on a further subject to that, I've actually done that even though it's long since my first year days. I actually have like performed back at that said show like both last year and the year before that, because like in second year I performed in 2 bands, one of which was called Strike the Mirror, for example, and we covered songs like Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy, and in another one it was Group Unknown, and great title, and we covered Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. And then in third year, which was last year, they once again asked me just to like open for like the first years because of lack of numbers and stuff, and me as well as another like music student by the name of Emily Morden, who is also great. We went and did a guitar and bass duet there, and we covered songs such as 5-String Serenade by Mazzy Star and White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. So yeah, like meanwhile going back onto like the production side is you always get like these assignments that like basically just test your knowledge with like producing, because it gets even more intense when you go into second year, because what my lecturers asked me to do there was emulate a song, and what I had to do there was basically just like had to play it, like record a song and make it sound as closer to the original as possible. And so the song I chose to emulate was Heart of Glass by Blondie. And so, because that's another childhood favorite of mine, because like I heard, that was another song I heard on Magic.
Yeah.
And so I just emulated it there. Obviously had to do like a lot of like careful planning and all, because if I wanted to make it sound a lot like the original, I had to like take like a lot of precautions and stuff. So like I did a lot of producing of it, you know, especially because there's a lot of like keyboard heavy parts in there and some complicated guitar stuff. I really made do with it, and it came out better than I thought. So that's a win.
Awesome. So wow. So talk about what we'll talk about the 3 years before. So what were your kind of like early modules, and what kind of your favorite modules and stuff like that, and what does it what more does it entail? So is there like what kind of modules? Because is there like a studio module? Is there like a performance module and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely there are, because like
And also, what's it sets apart from? Why is your course different than music production? What sets it apart from the other one?
Because music production solely focuses on production. Like, I haven't, like, obviously, even though like I know a lot of people who obviously are on production. Like, for example, one of my bandmates who I'm with in studies music production. I've never asked him how it is, but from what I've heard from others, like it sort of like, for example, talks about video game music, which is nice. But like the borderline level is, it's just purely focusing on like more production techniques and stuff. But like, I definitely know pretty much 80% of like all the people on production like still do like performances. Like, you know, there's Robin on production. He still like goes on stage and plays bass. There's also, you know, Jake Jordan. You know, he does like a lot of production and mixing desk stuff, and he also from time to time sings. Who else? And once again, my bandmate Ollie in my current band Cheap Faith, he's on production. He does production, but he also like is a kick-ass lead guitarist and stuff. So it like production is, again, it's just all about like producing and stuff. Performance, it's more of a 50-50 split.
So I assume you prefer the performance better than production?
Yeah, because it's kind of actually a hard thing to say, considering I love doing production just as much as performing, but you kind of are right. Yeah, because like I like to have the best of both worlds, and like, you know, finding the balance really.
Talk about like your process to making music. Then how has it come to you and stuff like that? Because I'm always fascinated with music people. Like, Izzy, I don't know if you know Izzy Cross.
I've never really spoken to Izzy. I've obviously passed her every now and again, but like I've never had a proper conversation with her.
But she says, like, you know, it comes to her, the music, the rhythm. How does it come to you?
Yeah, to be honest, Izzy's absolutely right. I'm in the same ballpark, because like it sort of like comes to me every now and again, and this is actually kind of a bit where I'm really excited to talk about. I'm mainly talking about all the film scores I do for like a lot of media students, because like, again, it just kind of comes to me with like the feel and stuff. And that's the same with writing songs, you know, it's just sort of like comes to you, because there have been several times where I've just been humming melodies, and then I'm all of a sudden like, oh my god, get out your phone, record it before you forget it. And that's like, you know, how it comes to me. Other times, you know, like whenever I'm doing songwriting, for example, I tend to like not go into like, you know, sort of more personal stuff. I'm a person who tends to focus more on like more poetical or like historical events, or as my Mirror Mirror song did, like earlier, real people. So yeah, like what if there's like something interesting enough, and like it's got enough material to work with, then yeah, I'll turn it into a song.
No, so what is your back catalogue then? What kind of songs do you have that are your favourites? Have you put an album together? Have you got an album? Do you promote your music?
Um, that's a long story. So last year, I had a solo project called Leaves on the Rails, and that was purely just to like fully explore my own interests and stuff. And so I put together a good amount of songs. And like you know, it wasn't a completely a one man job. Like I had two friends of mine, by the names of James Kay and Sam Berkshire on guitar and drums respectively. Like you know, those two are again like lovely, great people. I've said this, but if you two both come across this, good luck and hope to see you again soon because it's obviously going to be graduation soon.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, but like that was just what we did. So I like did all those songs, and in fact, this sort of like leads into a sort of an earlier tangent where obviously I became introduced to you and the rest of the guys in the MMC
Oh yeah.
because like I had so much stuff to do, and like for the whole of spring, I lived here. It was
In
literally.
the MMC.
Well, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but like obviously, like I had to like go to work and still attend lectures and like do band rehearsals and stuff. But I'd say about 70 to 75% of my time in spring was here.
Well, not on the sofa, but in the MMC.
Yeah, definitely not in here. I barely come in here. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. So when I see you on the computer, you've got a bunch of. It feels like the Rainbow Road from Joseph's Technical Dreamcoat. What are you working on there? What was that all about?
So those would always be like the individual tracks, and that's like we've recorded that like we've all recorded from everything because like there's a lot of stuff like there's vocals, there's guitar, there's bass, there's and especially drums. That's a monster to work through because unlike vocals, guitar and bass, we've only got something like only one microphone like this, well maybe two or three at a push, but generally you've only got like one single microphone doing it. With drums, it's nothing like that. You can't just like put a single microphone in front of it and just, you know, expect to control it. You like basically have to like mic individual things up. Like there's the kick drum, you have to like stick a microphone through a hole so it can be picked up. There's the snare drum, like you have to put at least two microphones on that because like the different sides have two different like sound qualities and stuff. There's also like the overhead mics which like picks up everything. There's also mics for the toms. You know, there's a lot of miking up to do. Like it's extremely complex. So like definitely I hope I'm not I don't know if I've really heard anyone else say this, but I personally believe that drums are the hardest thing to master when it comes to like producing stuff because
Right, interesting.
just because like there's just so much you need to work through. Like if there's anyone out there to disagree with me, then please, I'd love to hear your opinion
like
too.
Learning and miking up and writing for? You mean is the hardest thing?
Well, miking up definitely not because like you know it's that in fact that's the easiest part of it. Like both that and recording, it's mainly just like learning all about drum mastering. That's what I've always found a challenge personally.
So do you find it quite annoying setting up stuff for bands and miking up leads and stuff and miking things up? Do you find that quite annoying?
Not really. I mean the miking process itself, not at all. But as I'm sure many other music students will tell you, things do always go wrong because
Yes.
like In fact, literally looking here, I can see that we're connected up to an XLR here,
Yeah,
and
I want to test. Actually, I want to test the sound because weirdly. Hello, hello.
hello.
Okay, cool. Because that made a weird sound noise earlier. So yeah, speaking of getting things sound, do you know Mixpre at all?
Yeah. I've seen it around.
Yeah, they've got a mind of their own. Sorry, don't do anything. But sorry, do you just think, oh, I just want to perform? And is there that's a good question. What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you on stage? Like, has a mic gone off and stuff like that?
I think. I mean, yeah. Actually, I think the worst thing that ever happened was actually recently when my band Cheap Faith went to go and play at the Hobbit
Oh
in
yeah.
Southampton. Now for those watching who have been there, you obviously know it's kind of like a kind of a bit of a smaller venue compared to something like, let's say, Railway, or like, you know, like any other like larger venue in Southampton. Um, like it's kind of small, and like the reverberation is just everywhere. So so yeah, basically that was what happened. And so when we were on stage playing our second song of the night, the sound guy really screwed up on my bass noise, because like it's a really bass heavy atmosphere in there too, and it didn't well comply, as I'd like had an effects processor on me, and it basically just like didn't go well. We all got thrown off and stuff. We still managed to like recover and play through a good show, all things considered. But yeah, like me and the rest of my bandmates, Ollie, who I've just talked to you about on lead guitar, Will on rhythm, Jet on vocals, and our recently departed drummer, Elliot. The five of us will collectively agree that's so far been our worst show. But you know, it's still not been the worst. Like I still had a moderately good time. It was still good. So you know, but yeah, that I'll definitely say is quite possibly the worst moment I've had on stage. Truth be told.
Speaking of the Hobbit, the place, not the book.
Mhm.
I was in a documentary group mod. I was in a group. We did a documentary module just last year.
Mhm.
Do you know the band we did it on, the band called Bitching Hour?
Yes, I know Bitching Hour.
Yeah, they're great. They're fantastic.
Yeah, I did a show with them last year back in April of 23, and their stuff's really good. Like I especially love their song called Tooth and Nail. Like that song hits you right in there.
What did you do with them? Sorry, you did something with them.
Yeah, I did a show with them. It was in a precursor band that what would eventually lead into Dead Man's Pistol.
Wow, they're cool. They're good. They're really nice guys. They're really good. They're really good guys. They had like stuff at the. They had. It's a good documentary. Watch it. So talk about more about what you do. Talk about more about music. It's very interesting. You're very knowledgeable about it. Do you? You're in a band right now?
Yes, I am. So as I just mentioned, the band I'm currently in right now is called Cheap Faith. We formed at the beginning of this year. Originally it was just like a few of us jamming. Like it was just me, Ollie, and Will. You might have even seen their faces around the MMC at one point. But like yeah, it was just the three of us. Then we got Jet. And then we finally got Elliot in. And yeah, we've done several shows since then. Like we've done 3 at Railway, 1 at the Hobbits, and 1 at the Vault.
Hey, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Midnight.
Midnight heist. Yeah.
So what's it like?
Actually, no. It was 2 at the Vault because I forgot 1840. My bad.
What is 1840?
1840 is the annual gig. Is like the annual concerts that happen in the beginning of May. They happen in the vaults. They're free entry, so everyone can come down. And it's where like all the student uni bands like go and perform to like a live audience. And it's had a lot of success. Like when I first started at uni, it was only a day, but now it's gotten even bigger. It's now like 2 days running. And according to like also my recently departed lecturer, Dr. Niall Thomas, it when it first started out, it was only like 10 students playing on stage, and the academic year just gone. According to him, it's now been 60 students plus 10 students running everything on the desk. Oh, how times have changed.
But talk more about what's it like being in a band, and do you ever write music with your band, or is it usually just one of you writes it?
Yes. So, it's definitely like nice being in the band 'cause we play off each other quite well. It's even more rewarding when you're on stage and just like seeing all that play off because I just like people know that I can get quite bouncy when I'm on stage, but that's just because I'm just enjoying the experience. To be truth be told, to be honest
Yeah,
with
cool.
you,
Good for you.
yeah. So I just like to just like bounce about and just like get into the move. Obviously still have to keep an eye on my bandmates, just to make sure we know like when the next section of a song is coming. To answer your question about songwriting, it's kind of like we throw ideas around. Like I've written several songs. Me, Will, and Jet put together a song all about pirates, which has actually been called by several friends of ours one of their favorite ones because they just love like the pirate matey and pirate like stuff and so forth. Ollie, meanwhile, he's brought together several songs from like old bands he used to play with before he came to uni. And then like for example, we even at one point jammed out a song which I'm actually working on at the moment, and hopefully in like release for Spotify in the not too distant future, definitely before this year's over.
Do you have a Spotify published account where you put your music on?
We're in the process of doing that.
Well, that's cool. So, what's it like to be a? Are you a working musician? Let me say it again. So, what's it like? You're not. Are you a working musician at the moment? Like, are you? You are, aren't you? You say like a professional working musician.
That you could say, just because like as I'm sure like both last year and this year I found myself kind of in demand for like film scores and stuff by like media students because for example last year I did like a score for Kieran Blaney's surrealist David Lynch-esque film, which was a real fun one to do. Like I loved like composing like a lot of different scores for that.
Is that the cool one? The cool is that
Yeah,
Kieran?
the cool one, or maybe it was called Caller Revoked. I don't know.
Caller Engaged.
Bang on it.
You
Yes,
did the
I
music of
remember.
that. Oh right.
Yeah, I love doing that one. I still haven't seen like the film itself yet. Like I hope I can at some point. But yeah, that was a fun one to do. Then with Elena, she's lovely. Basically with that one, I was doing a horror film called
Love is
Wake.
Dead.
No, actually, Wake Up.
Oh, is that Katie's? Is it V with a red face? You know who V is?
Yeah, I know
Is that
who V
with
is.
a red face?
Yes.
That one.
Yes.
Right.
Well, I'll quickly say I didn't recognize it was V at first. Like, whoever did the makeup on V, props to them because like it took me about 4 or 5 watches to realize. Yeah, I recognize that face.
So what? So what is the difference between? How do you get in the mindset to? What is the? There seems to be. There's obviously different process between writing music on stage and writing music for film. What is the difference? Would you have to watch the film and then you just have to fill in the blanks? Is it that easy, or is there just more to it? Do you ever look at the script, or do you ever think about the character situation, or or do you just think, oh, I'll just fill in the blanks? Is that?
Um. Ooh. Yeah, I do. I do obviously like watch the films several times start to finish. That wasn't the case with Kieran's film because like I never I never saw what came in there. So basically, in that case, I was completely working blind, and so yeah. But like, it still worked out well. Like, I definitely know Kieran was really happy with it all.
Can you work blind if you haven't got a film?
Yeah, like
Really?
as long as you like have enough instructions on you about like the sort of like composition and stuff, and like, you know, enough of a script idea in mind, then it's pretty smooth sailing actually. Because like Kieran, he'd always be in touch with me. In fact, I think both Isla, Kieran, and Nyan.
What with the music?
Yeah, so I was keeping in touch with them when I'm doing my scores, and obviously, you know, like I kept sending them over to Kieran. Obviously, you know, he'd just say, "That's good, that's good. This needs adjusting," and I was like, "Sure, man," you know. So, but so yeah, like if it doesn't matter if I'm working blind or if I've got a film in front of me, like it's still easy enough to like get a score up, and you know, like similar to like when I was doing like I'll say I definitely had a lot of fun working with Elena's film, because like there was a lot of like moods I was going for, because you know it starts off very slice of life and then just gets creepy real fast, and then going further on, like I'll also mention Amelie's pirate film here.
Oh yeah, right,
That one like also has a lot of quiet moments and also a lot of intense moments. So you know, I had to like, you know, just work through like, you know, just a lot of the quiet moments, and tend to like go for like really sort of soft things, because I'll actually, this is going to be a bit of a long story actually, but like
Okay.
I should actually talk about what influences me to
Yeah.
like score things. So I'd say one influence would be the video game Earthbound from 1994.
Okay.
You may recognize it if you ever play as either the characters Ness or Lucas in Smash Brothers. Um,
Okay. Smash
but
Brothers Mario.
you know, yeah, you know, like yeah. So you know, there's this one kid called Ness, like where he wears a cap. He's got like a yellow and blue striped shirt. He's been in like every single Smash Bros game. So
Oh right. Okay. So you had the
inspiration from Earthbound, yeah, because like that game is incredible, and the music is no exception, because it can go in all directions, and I especially listened out for like the horror moments of it, because one thing I should recommend you have a listen to, if you dare, is anything that has the word Gygus. Giygas. That's how it's spelled, by the way.
is that a person?
More like a thing. Something we can't make sense.
Gyvus.
Gygus.
Gygus.
Gygus. It's something that's, according to the game's developer, something we can't make sense of. And the score is something you can't really make sense of, and it's also really terrifying. And so that was what I had listening in my head during a couple of scenes. You know, like that is just perfect. I'd say another influence for like my music scoring would also be, I would actually also be my third influence in how I got into music in the first place, because my favorite show on TV when I was a kid was Thomas the Tank Engine. And not only did I admire it for the model work, I also admired it for the music as well, because
Right.
like the two guys who did the score, by the names of Mike O'Donnell and Junior Campbell, they like had like a lot of like, you know, varying themes for each character, and you know, like also, you know, really intense music when a character is about to crash into something, or you know, just really sad, like emotional moments when like a character's feeling down and stuff. Like it just tugs at your heartstrings. Let's say like the another influence will also be listening to like a lot of like anime music as well, specifically like anything from Attack on Titan, basically.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The guy who does the music for it, like I know his name, but I'm scared I'll butcher it on here. But like he does a lot. He has done so much phenomenal work like for it. It's just the music is just peak, S tier. Like, well, I was gonna say it's great.
You just talk about music. To be honest, that's so you know, we've got so much. So your course right now is It's what's it again? Sorry.
Digital marketing and analytics, and it's a master's. Yeah.
Okay. What is that, and what are you working on at the moment?
It's a course which deals with like creativity and like creative marketing and stuff. So I'm really into like promotions and stuff, and because like I know my stuff with like graphic design and all. Like also like starting like try my hand in like band photography and everything. So that's like another bit of promotion and stuff. Like I especially love like doing a lot of like talk about like the Southampton music scene, because over there the scene is just big, and and that is no exaggeration, because like as in addition to like the Hobbit, as we've just talked about, basically there's other venues such as the 1865, the Heartbreakers, the Joiners, Engine Rooms. There's even an O2 Guildhall there. Like, and it attracts both big name acts and and like just local bands in general. So for example, my friends James and Sam, who I just talked about, well, James not anymore, but Sam still, they've played in a band called Psychedelic Skies, and like they've done shows in Heartbreakers and Joiners, and like they're still going, and like it's still going strong, and like the venue is definitely welcoming to like many, and like the Southampton, and of course every year as of recently Southampton has like hosted this thing called Music in the City, where like basically, and that thing from what saw from like my latest bit of research got over 1,000 people, like 1,000 artists involved.
1,000 artists involved.
Yes, and like it was just like everyone just like I was not, sadly. I wish I was, but I saw updates from social media about how big it was, and it just looked so crowded. There were just like people everywhere, just like playing gigs, and it was just phenomenal. It was just phenomenal. Like some people got to play at least twice, and they did shows around pretty much every single bit of Southampton you can reach, because it is a big city. There are so many like suburbs and everything, like Highfield, for instance. But yeah, big stuff.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't know Southampton would have that big of a enough space.
Me neither. Like I honestly was really surprised when I just found out how big it was.
Is there anything that you're working on at the moment at all, music wise? Is there any songs that you've gotten?
Well, other than Different Planet, which I'm currently in the process of mastering, I would say we are in the process of getting a new drummer into Cheap Faith at the moment. So but once we've done that, we're going to like head into the studio and like record some more stuff, because like our Railway In show from the 19th of September, we had so many people like come up to us and ask, when are you going to get yourselves on Spotify? When are you going to get yourselves on Spotify? We need to listen, God damn it. So we were like, well, yeah. And so that's why, I've definitely been back in my natural habitat ever since. Just like working on Different Planet and stuff. And, currently I'd say I'm about 75% done with it. Like I'm currently in the process, still working through like kinks in the lead guitar parts, and also like, making sure Jet's lovely voice doesn't get tainted in any way. And they'd know I'd never do that, but like yeah.
Do you just play guitar, or do you play any other instruments?
Well, actually, guitar is not my first instrument, because no, because in fact like my main instrument is the bass guitar. But like actually it goes even further back from that. Like I first started out playing the trombone when I was at my second school.
Trombone.
Yeah,
Wow.
and like I spent many years playing that in my school's jazz band. I later soon got interested into the piano, and at one point I thought I was gonna like mainly just like focus on keyboards and stuff. And then I discovered bass, and I was like, this is actually really, really fun to play, especially when lockdown hit.
Mm.
I was like spending at least so many hours just like playing bass. Like when I finally came back, when I finally came back, like everyone was surprised by how much I'd done. Obviously, since like obviously we couldn't go and do like all the music grades in person, we had to do them all online. And like I basically I started out in lockdown at grade 2, and by the end of lockdown I was then on grade 6, and there were 8 grades in total.
All right.
So yeah.
So that's grade 6 is good, isn't it? Or is it bad?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like, you know, it's pretty much considered like, you know, a high level in terms of like, you know, getting ready to gig, because like for example, a really fluid bass line that's like performed as part of the resume there is the bass line to Everybody Dance by Chic. And that's like a really funky song to play, but it was one where I spent like about a month just like, you know, playing it, and you know, it didn't even blister my fingers and stuff, because like, you know, if you're a bass player, like expect for like, you know, your fingers to really get calloused and stuff.
Right,
Like at
okay.
one point like I really, really harmed my middle finger here, because I managed to like play it so much, do so much vigorous practice, that I actually caused a black blister to form on the edge of it. Ouch.
Is it quite hard? Like you must get injuries when you're doing, you know, instruments and stuff. You know, get any injuries?
No.
Do you not get injuries when you do? Are you like do you like rock stars where they jump into the audience and do a crowd surf?
Well, me, to be honest, I wouldn't have the confidence for that.
But you like that whole rock star, right?
Yeah, I like headbang wherever is possible. I don't do it too much because I'm always more focused on like the playing and stuff. I'm sure like this has never happened really, but I think if like I spend too much time just like, you know, doing a lot of like headbanging and stuff, I feel I'm just gonna like lose my concentration. And because like especially as someone like the bass lines I play are quite fluid and stuff and need to be really tight, I need to make sure that they're tight and stuff, so I don't really like headbang it and all. But in fact actually there is actually sort of a right thing to like your question. You should, I think the main thing the only injury a musician should really feel when they're on stage is maybe hearing, because like, you know, like especially you'll notice all the time like people have like a lot of like in-ear monitoring in it, and like that's just to receive signals, but it's also just to like make sure people's hearing don't be damaged. Because like if you like go out to like a night at Bop, for instance, like there's always like a lot of like loud music playing through the speakers, and like I'd say once you spent at least 2 hours in there and you walk outside, your ears are ringing.
Right. Do you have tinnitus? No. All right. Because my brother has it, and he doesn't like it, and he doesn't go to any rock concerts at all.
Ouch. I feel bad. That is not fun.
Do you have any like not really, what was it, advice? Like what would you say to someone who wants to get into music? What would you help them do, or learn an instrument, for example?
Ooh, off the top of my head right now, I'd say one bit of advice I'd really say is like really play to your strengths. You know, like play to the strength of your chosen instrument. You know, and I'd say when you're just starting off, like, you know, always like just keep having a listen out to like favorite bands you like and stuff. I'd also say don't be afraid to challenge yourself, because like, you know, like I used to be terrible with like playing like for instance like metal bass lines, which is kind of not good because like I'm a metalhead and stuff, and so like like that's obviously going to require like a lot of like fluid movement and like chucking and stuff, and so I definitely say, you know, don't be afraid to like try new styles. I'd always just say practice as much as you can, and like, you know, just love your bass, love your instrument as much as possible. And just, you know, every time you're performing with people on stage, just treasure the experience.
That's a good. Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah.
Mm.
So what do you? I want to talk one more thing about music, and then something about what are your opinions on the music industry now? Like what 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 do you think about it? Is there like, oh, there's too much of this pop stuff, you know, there needs to be more. What's your opinion? And also, is you know, songwriters getting enough pay, and also copyright stuff. What do you think of the music industry in general? You know.
Um. Well, start off with I wouldn't say like everything is just like lathered with pop music. Because like, for instance, again, I know I'm constantly using Southampton as like my case study or example or what have you, but like, I'm always like the industry, like they've got like their own chart system on the south coast, and like a lot of like the entries in there are like kind of more like indie rock and stuff. So like pop does have its fair share every now and again, but it's kind of like, you know, I wouldn't say like many music genres get neglected, to be honest. Like I think the only place on earth that does like neglect you know, music that should be there would be the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because I won't say too much about that, but like from what I've heard over there, like the decision on which group or act gets in every year is just like all based just by like a certain group of people who aren't themselves musicians, and it's more to like their personal taste and stuff. You know, we've heard enough stories about that, and you know, it wasn't made any clearer when the Sex Pistols were inducted in 2006 and basically sent a very insulting message to the superiors.
Oh, really? Sex Pistols did. All right.
Yeah, but anyway, as for the rest of it, I'd still say that like a lot of like, you know, like musicians of many of like are getting good support, because it's not like, because like, you know, like for example the band Wolf Alice, when they
Oh yeah, rings a bell. Yeah.
released their like third album Blue Weekend a couple of years ago, managed to go to number one in the charts. You know, I pretty much like started listening to that the moment it got released. Like it was a really good one. But you know, like I do like hear what people say. Like obviously pop's obviously, you know, very big on the range. Because obviously it's easily accessible and
what's
stuff.
your opinion on like Kanye West music and stuff?
Don't have an opinion. I don't listen to it.
Oh really?
No, I mean I don't
But
really.
that kind of music, like, it seems to be going. Well, no, I don't know, man. But do you feel like it's going that way? You know.
I again don't listen to Kanye, so I wouldn't be able to provide you an answer on that. Sorry.
But like also like copyright. I liked watching a documentary about the Ed Sheeran copyright thing. Like the notes were the same. Do you find it people go too far with the copyright stuff?
Again, I'd say it was. I'd say it was like it's kind of sometimes all over the place. You know, there are sometimes greedy record companies out there. Like, I'd say the only case of that right now comes to memory right now is like just thinking of the lead singer of Creedence Clearwater Revival, John Fogerty, or Fogerty, that's how you pronounce it. Oh, I mispronounce a lot of things, but like John Fogerty, years after he left Creedence Clearwater Revival, he basically created a song that was like similar to a song he'd written while with the band. And in fact, a record producer by the name of Saul Zaentz who he used to work with, he actually sued John for plagiarizing himself.
What?
I know. What? It's literally like one of the strangest lawsuits I think in the history of lawsuits. Like it's just something which just doesn't make sense. Why would you sue for someone for plagiarizing their own work? Like, what's the basis of that? Clearly him just either trying to get revenge on John for like obviously leaving him and stuff, or just like trying to make a quick buck. Either case is definitely possible.
Is that John who, sorry? Again?
John Fogerty of
Fogerty.
Creedence Clearwater Revival. Like he did many, like that band did many hit singles, like especially Who'll Stop the Rain, Proud Mary, and especially Fortunate Son, the song you hear when the bushes start talking.
I bet you mean my bushes as in the President Bushes. Oh.
Maybe.
But apart from music, let's talk about like more about you, to be honest.
Mhm.
Like, is this your last year at Winchester or not?
Second to last.
Second to last. So you got another year.
Yep, because like I'm doing my masters part time.
Ah, right. Okay. So you do work at Waitrose, right?
Yes,
earlier.
I do. I do work at Waitrose. So yeah, it does. I won't say too much about that, but it does. It does like get very. It's pretty much in the same. All I say on that subject is it's pretty much similar to how the food industry is. It's brutal. It's pretty much in the same
food industry.
Yeah, it is brutal. It's brutal. Like it's kind of like the same way as like working in a restaurant. It's got the only difference is you haven't got, let's say, Gordon Ramsay breathing down your back. But yeah, it is brutal. It's retail. You can be faced with a lot of nasty people, but you got to rise above it.
Well, what do you like doing at like Winchester and stuff? What do you like doing in your spare time apart from music?
I generally just for example, on every Sunday evening, I go out to Railway with with one of my friendship groups called the Bobbles. And they're mainly like comprised of people who graduated uni even before I started.
Wow.
So yeah, but like I met them through Millie, my friend at work. She's one of the loveliest people you'll ever meet, and I really hope you and Millie, if you're right now listening or watching, hi.
We'll do shout-outs later.
Okay, I'll do my best to refrain from any more. But yeah, like that friendship group is great. Like they do these things called Polar Express Awards every November.
Polar Express Awards?
Yeah, it's just like, doing fun things. And at one point, two of our friends ran this thing called the Hot Box, which was at Railway. They ran like every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday every week, so like 4 days a week. Sadly, due to health problems, those two people, Henry and Tiggy, have had to sadly discontinue with it. It wasn't a decision they did lightly, but we all came out just to give it like a good send off and stuff. And but yeah, I love hanging out with the Bobbles. We've done like several good meetups at Railway and all. And
why do you call them the Bobbles? Why are they called?
Well, they call themselves the Bobbles because like it's just like a cute name because like they're all like really bubbly and fun and stuff, and it's just really cute in general.
What have you learned from like being at Winchester? Like, what's the experience of like coming to Winchester? Did you channel yourself back? What does it feel like to, survive on your own? And what's it like being here?
Yeah.
How are you gonna miss it?
It has taught me a lot of surviving on my own because pretty much ever since I started at uni, I've pretty much like just been pretty much living in Winchester. Ever since then, I basically have seldom ventured back to my parents' house and stuff, just because like I'm always working and stuff, and always like trying to focus on like like my own like uni work and stuff. So like like basically it's taught me a lot of like survival and stuff, and so I've learned how to like cope. I've learned how to like cook for myself properly. Learned how to like be a more mature person, because like sadly in my case I learned a lot of things the hard way. But like yeah, it's taught me a lot, and it's very much made me the guy I am today.
Yeah, yeah. Um, anything? What would you like to do? What would you like? Do you have an idea of what you'd like to do in the future? Be a
Yes,
rock star.
well, maybe, but like quite honestly, I also favour a life working behind the sound desk as well.
All right.
And in
Yeah.
fact, I actually had a talk about this with the guy who runs Winnell Rock School at the Arc yesterday. Like basically, we spoke about like sound desk opportunities, which I could like do around Winchester. So that would be good practice for me. Um, every year when Boomtown is held,
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
they're always asking for music and sound volunteers. I do know several people who have put their names down for that, and I'm one of them. Even though it's like full of drum and bass music, which I don't listen to, it'll still be a good eye-opening experience. Like in right now in this day and age, I'll take anything.
So I say this to every single person on the show, and it's the last question before we got into quick fire questions. In general, it doesn't have to be music at all, but in general, do you think there's a big serious issue that you think that needs to be addressed more in the world and people need to be more aware of?
Well, I think on that reason, I'd simply say people just need to stop being so mean to one another. They just need to like, they don't know how people are like feeling on the inside, so they just like be nicer to people. Like just treat them the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Because I feel that's just generally like just don't be don't be nasty here. I could say like worse words, but I'm gonna do my best just to try and keep this interview PG.
But the thing is, what I find about people being nice to each other is that it, to me, people, it still happens, but people don't really go up and bully you. They usually do it like as in like a passive aggressive sort of way, but they're like quite mean, but like, hey, how you doing? But like quite horrible, if you know what I mean by that.
Yeah, I know several people like that. Yeah.
Yeah. They just and exactly treat who you want to be treat. Um, anything, anything else? Serious issue or?
Well, simply can people stop being killed?
That's true. Yeah.
Like it's reminded me of like what I once saw a poet read at like the poetry platform, which is held every month at Railway, where he simply just reads a poem and is simply constantly saying at the end of every paragraph, and stop killing people, you twats. Like honestly, that says more about what happening in the world than I ever could.
Quick fire questions.
Hit me.
I want to ask a quick question though. What does your T-shirt mean?
Oh, this is one of my favourite bands at the moment. Yes, Veruca Salt, and before you ask, yes, the band was indeed named after the spoilt kid from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That is the illustration from Roald Dahl though.
Yeah, because it's a completely like different thing. Like Veruca Salt is currently one of my favourite bands. I was actually listening to them on my way here. Like currently my favourite song by them is one called Empty Bottle. Like I recommended it to some of my Bobble friends only a few days ago.
How long have they been going on for then? When did they start?
They started in about like early to mid 90s, and then they took a hiatus for a few years and then came back in 2015 and like made their album Ghost Notes. But like they've got like their fair share of love, because like their stuff is like really 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 good. So they're one of my favorite bands at the moment, and that's why I'm happily wear this shirt with pride. Yeah, shameless self-promotion. Whenever Veruca Salt are playing in the UK, go and get some tickets because I definitely know I will be.
Right, quick fire questions. Because we have a lot of film people on, but do you have a favourite film of all time?
Harold and Maude, 1971.
Oh, no, I don't know that one, but I'll have to Google it. Favourite artist or band?
Spirit Box.
Is that an artist or a band?
Yeah, it's a band.
Favourite band all time?
Boa.
Bowie.
Boa.
David
it's
Bowie?
no, not David
Oh.
Bowie. It's a band called Boa. They're an alternative rock band from London. I went to go and see them in the summer actually. And they're mostly known in like the anime world as like having done like the opening song to the anime serial Experiments Lane. And of course, you know, another one of my favorite bands are because we've just spoken about them. And I also love Spirit Box, and I'd say further on to that, I'll keep it just one more. I'd say a musician who also spans the test of time would definitely be a man called Vince Guaraldi. And if you don't know who he is, he in fact he'd actually be another one of my soundtrack scoring influences. He did a lot of music to like the Peanuts film television specials, you know, for starring Charlie Brown and Snoopy.
Oh yeah.
Like he's a key influence of mine. Like I love all his music. Like my friend Millie and also our other friend from work, Alison, the three of us love his work, and like, you know, we frequently are always listening to it prior to the store being open because like we all work in the morning and stuff.
Okay, favourite song you listen to forever, but I'm going to say favourite song you listen to forever / what was your top... Do you have Spotify, right?
Yes.
What was your most listened to song of last year? So kind of a two-part question.
To be honest, I have not looked at my Spotify Wrapped ever since I put it on my story. I'd have to say though, I actually think it was something by I will have to. I would. I'm
Don't
sure
worry.
I am gonna get this wrong, but I will. But I think I might have my answer, and that would definitely again be "Empty Bottle" by Veruca Salt, because that song basically speaks to me. That song basically speaks to me. Like,
check it out. Check that out.
yeah, it is. It is like almost. It is like 6 minutes. Well, or just under that of like pure goodness.
Favorite song? Is that your favorite song as well? All time?
One of you know, I also like Circle with Me by Spirit Box. I also quite like the song Elephant by Boa. That's currently my favorite song by them. So I've said Spirit Box, Veruca Salt, Boa. And as for Vince Guaraldi, my favorite piece by him is called Peppermint Patty. Like, I heard that many years ago, and I still am listening to it this day.
I want to shout out that I'm gonna see Paul McCartney this December.
Yeah, you told me about this.
I'm seeing Oasis next summer. Are you a fan of Oasis? Not the people, but I like 6 songs they write.
Oh man, I could tell a story about this, but like, this is a quick fire section, so I'll keep it brief. But
What's
like,
the story?
oh, what's the story? Morning Glory
with Oasis.
Oh, just you know what was going on when, like, you know, the tickets came live. One of my managers at work, for example, was basically had like her work computer open on trying to get them, and she was constantly
During work.
Yes, and like for like just the entire day when I was in the building, she had it like open and was like just trying, and was like, she was like about 100 something in the queue, just trying to get those tickets, and like
the website.
No. The website kept crashing. Like, I think the last time that ever happened was for like Michael Jackson's "This Is It" concert that sadly had to be cancelled when he died.
Are you a fan of Taylor Swift at all?
No.
No? You're not a Swiftie? Okay. If you could be a person for a day, who would it be?
If I could be a person for a day?
Yeah.
Oh, you got me foxed here. If I right now would be a person for a day right now, my mindset would actually be Jaco Pastorius.
Don't know who's that.
He's the greatest bass player who ever lived.
Oh,
Like he's done like a lot of like fluid bass lines and stuff, and just he like literally every bassist, it doesn't matter what genre, if it's metal, if it's funk, if it's like pop, if it's like rock or jazz, like as Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers would say, all of us stand on Jacko's shoulders. No one could have missed that strand of DNA out. But if I had an alternate choice of who I'd want to be, then I'd say Rowan Atkinson.
yes, definitely.
Oh, Teddy.
Funny you should say. Childhood celebrity crush.
Rachel Weisz.
Right. James Bond's wife.
Yes. And for my second, if I had to say a second pick, I'd have a crush on this person by the name of Deborah Watling. Only like really hardcore Doctor Who fans would know who she is.
Are you a Doctor Who person?
Not really. But like I do find myself interested in time to time. If you don't know who she is, she played the companion called Victoria. She was one of the companions to Patrick Troughton's second Doctor, and she is beautiful. So those would be my two crushes.
Secret talent or unknown fact people don't know about you.
Oh God, that is a question. I am really struggling because like sometimes I even end up surprising myself. But like I would say like a secret talent I have is that I'm quite a fast runner.
Right.
Like I tend to I used to do like a lot of cross country running when I was at school and stuff.
Well, at the MC we'll have a race outside.
Yeah.
If you time traveled, where would you go?
If I time traveled, I would go back to the Woodstock Festival from 1969.
Well, the crazy one.
No, that was Woodstock 99.
Oh.
Like I've heard enough stories about what that was.
Is it still going?
No. It's just the original Woodstock that I would go for. Either that or the event which happened in Monterey 2 years prior in 1967 called the Monterey Pop Festival. Or I'd just time travel to like any download concert really.
Live Aid?
Not the biggest into 80s music. I think I'd give that a skip.
Oh right, okay.
But
you're not interested in 80s music?
Oh well, let's just say I'm not interested. It's not that I'm not interested in it. Like there are some 80s songs that I will like listen to. In fact, like a good chunk of my favorite songs do come from the 80s. But I'd say like I'm not into it as much as I used to be. Like obviously people's tastes change.
My
all the time.
mum's a crack addict on 70s and 80s music. That's her. And you got to be careful because if you give her the remote for YouTube on the TV, she'll just sit there for 3 hours, going through old grey whistle test.
Is it like
Top of the Pops stuff? She would just
I was gonna say, did she like do sort of like our equivalent to like MTV or something?
Yeah. And she's obsessed with T-Rex, Lindisfarne.
T-Rex is a good thing to be obsessed with, to be fair.
Yeah. When Mark, what's his name? Mark Bowen.
Mark Bolan,
when
yeah.
When he died, my mum wanted to, when she was young, wanted to create like a shrine for him in the garden.
Oh, that's so wholesome.
When she worked on the phones for Live Aid, and she said that's the biggest regret of her life because she was watching Live Aid in the corner of a TV. She wasn't there experiencing it. We've seen Stevie Wonder together. We've seen Madonna together. We've seen Elton John together. We've seen Hall & Oates together. We've seen. And she's been seen Rolling Stone before we were born. She's seen so many Rolling Stones, Genesis 3 times. She's
bravo.
She has to be on the show. She has to be on the show.
Yeah, bravo. Like Mrs. Kirby. You've definitely been very well travelled.
Yeah, you should talk. You should meet and just bond over music. Favorite word?
Sound.
Just the word sound.
Yeah, because sound is like something I love.
Guilty pleasure.
I think that's You know how I told you earlier that I loved Thomas as a kid.
Yeah.
I still love it as an adult.
Oh, that's not a guilty pleasure.
Like I still watch like episodes from the show like late at night and stuff. You know. And like I still have like some of the books that the show was based on. Like I sometimes have them out for bedtime reading.
Little known fact about me: I have a link with Thomas Tank Engine. In the 80s, well, before my parents moved, Thomas Tank Engine used to live down my road. No, Thomas Tank Engine's. No, sorry, the writer of Thomas the Tank Engine's brother used to live down my road.
What, like Britt Allcroft?
Is that the brother's name?
No, well,
the inventor of Thomas Tank Engine's brother.
George Audrey, Reverend W. Audrey's brother.
Yeah.
Envy.
In the 80s. I don't think that's... Wow.
Yeah.
The person that's find that interesting, everyone just goes, right, okay. Bit weird.
Yeah, I know. George Audrey, brother of Reverend Wilbur Audrey, and uncle of Christopher Audrey, and I will stop talking because it would just lead into something just completely random, and it's a very long guilty pleasure, and I don't know how my closest friends put up with me because, like, they tolerate me talking about Thomas enough.
You're the kind of person who bumps into Ringo Starr, wouldn't go crazy about the Beatles, you'd be crazy about Thomas the Tank Engine.
Could, but, like, then again, I definitely wouldn't really, like, go and talk to celebrities in public because, you know, I just consider myself like I'm a paparazzi photographer or something.
Is there a rock star that you would like to meet and go up to, and just any of them? Or you just the kind of person who goes, no, I'll just leave it?
Well, definitely for a start, I'd definitely for a start like to go and meet anyone in Spirit Box, Veruca Soul, or Boa.
Have you seen any of them live?
I've seen Boa live. Haven't seen the other two live.
What other famous bands have you seen live? Do you like going to concerts and stuff?
I do like going to concerts. The other bands I've seen live would include Life of Agony at the 1865. I've seen a band called Alpha Wolf at the Loft in Southampton back in April of 23.
Any big bands? Any big names that we know?
Actually, yes, and I've told you this before. Kiss.
You saw Kiss?
Yes.
How long ago was that?
It was in, like, I believe mid-July of 2023.
Cool. That's cool.
And oh my god, if this is like their last show, it was like, because obviously it's the end of the road tour, and I think like they're now done, but like, you know, absolute perfection.
Oh, Kiss,
like
Kiss.
Just seeing, just like, you know, even like individual moments where, like, you know, each of the four members like got individual spotlight moments, and Gene Simmons went ham when it came to his. Like, he had blood in his mouth and everything. It was just like like all the cameras were on his face and he was just going God,
it sounds like a horror film. And if you had to choose the next guest to be on the show, who would you pick? It could be anyone that we know, anyone you know from home, anyone. Living or dead.
Well, I think one person who I could definitely would recommend to be on the show would be my friend from the Czech Republic, Karolina, because like she could tell like a lot of stories about like life in Czech, like what life has been like here, because she loves coming here every time she has. I'd say I'm allowed multiple choices here.
Yeah, if you want to.
I definitely also invite my friend Millie.
The Bobbles.
Yeah, from the Bobbles. Like she can tell even more detail than I can. Like she could also talk, but like she also has a lot to say about psychology because like she's done a master's degree in it. Who else? You could also like definitely set up appointments with any of my Cheap Faith bandmates. Because they've got their own musical backgrounds to talk about. And I think like one final example would be like the friend who I've known the longest since being at uni would be someone called Tia, who has you know also got her own fair share of stories to tell, and like you know knows like she will definitely talk to you for ages about anything historical, especially horrible histories.
Yeah, horrible history.
Horrible histories.
Now, those songs were great in that show. I just want to quickly ask, what's your band mean? Is the O2 Arena?
The band that was what I got from seeing Kiss, and I just have never taken it off since.
Well, I've got a piece of blue tack. If anyone's wondering why I'm fiddling with my fingers throughout the episode, that's the reason. Blue tack. Friends and shout outs to people.
Okay.
Bobbles?
Well, yes, definitely. Yeah, the Bobbles would be a good start. So I'd say a few random names. I'd say Eloise, Amy, Sammy, Ebony, Vicky, Sam, Ben, Holly, Tiggy, Henry, and the rest of you who right now have all escaped. Oh, Ellie as well, and right now who have all escaped my mind. Another friendship group I'll give shout outs to would be the Tism Gang. So some of those names would include Hallie, Bryn, Smolly, Molly, Tolly. Yeah, because there's 3 Ollies and they're all different heights, so that's why we call them, just to differentiate them. I'd also say Lux, and other people who've right now just escaped my mind because I'm trying to think of others right now. So there's Lux. I'd also say shout out to my Cheap Faith bandmates. Tolly again, because he's the tall one out of the lot. Will and Jet. I'd say, of course, another lovely shout out to Carolina while you're still here in the UK. I'd also give another shout out to Tia. You're great. To several other people by the names of Leah, Rebecca, and all the MMC guys, especially you for hosting this show.
Thank you.
I'd also say Elena, Amelie, Nyon, Isla, I pronounced it right this time, Kieran, and everyone else who I've met in the MMC, and also all my favorite colleagues at Waitrose and stuff, like for example Alison, Rachel, Steph, Eleanor, Malk, Kirsty. Can't really think of anyone else, but yeah.
Anyone else.
But the rest, my guys at Waitrose, you're all amazing. Hi.
Well, that's a pretty great shout out section.
Yeah,
cool.
I wouldn't shut up there.
Any social medias that you have that people can follow you?
Okay, so I'm got several. So for everyone listening, my main Instagram goes by the name of areed2302. The 2302 references both the date and month of when I was born, 23rd of February. I'd also say follow Cheap Faith on Instagram too. We'll hopefully be having more updates for you soon, because we posted another big railway in montage the previous day. I noticed you were our most recent follower.
Was I?
Yeah, your CT Plus.
Oh yeah, I did get that. I wondered who that was.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I followed you first, so it kind of figures.
Yay!
And then I also run UOW Jazz Collective. That's for the jazz band at uni, which is run by the music center. We'll have a good amount of updates on there too. Yes. I'd also say, if anyone's still mildly curious, feel free to also waltz about on my Leaves on the Rails Instagram. I'm not really active on there anymore, but still, if you want to see what I posted there in the past, then please feel free. But yeah, those are the 4 accounts that are run by me.
Awesome. That is kind of it. That is the end of the show.
Oh,
but thank you so much for coming on.
I feel so honoured, Matt.
No,
I feel so
You're
honoured.
a lovely guy, and you're brilliant. You're very talented, and good luck to what you do. You're going to be here another year, which I'm jealous. You get all this equipment to yourself for another year. I have to.
Well, it won't be the same without you and many other people.
Thanks. Oh, stop it. The MMC bringing people together.
Oh, for real, dude. For real.
The person that I always say, I don't know if you're a fan, but my favourite actor rock star is Harrison Ford. And I say at the end of every show, Harrison Ford, please come on my show. Please, just come on the show. Even come for a minute. whatever.
Listen to
Come on
him.
the show.
Listen to him.
But that's it. Chat on that. Make sure you sign the book. And thanks so much, Alex, for playing.
Pleasure.
And thanks for
Pleasure.
there you go. Thanks, Alex. And yeah, good luck with everything. And you'll be missed the MMC. I'll miss you, man.
Yeah, I'll miss you guys too.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
miss
thanks very
you.
much. That's Chat on that. And that is CT Plus. Follow it. And that is episode 32. Woo!
All right.